Have you ever gone to sign up for a free trial for something and for some reason they ask for your credit card information and don't let you sign up until you give it to them? It almost feels like a design mistake, but it's not. This is an example of a dark pattern, deceptive design tactics crafted to manipulate your decisions for the company's gain. They're hidden in the apps, websites, and services you use every day, quietly shaping your actions without you even realizing it. And most of them are much less obvious than asking you for your credit card information. And once you learn about them, you'll start being able to protect yourself from all the sneaky little ways companies try to swindle you out of your hard-earned money. It all starts with choice architecture, the hidden structure of how options are presented to you. This might seem harmless, but beneath the surface, it's anything but. Companies manipulate choice architecture to guide you into decisions that benefit them, not you. And one of the most pervasive tools in this toolkit is the default effect, pre-selecting choices for you in a way that nudges you to go along with them without questioning why. Take Amazon, for example. When you're at checkout, extended warranties or add-ons are often pre-selected for you. If you don't notice and deselect them, you'll end up paying for something you never intended to buy. It's a subtle trick, but one that quietly turns your convenience into their profit. Facebook uses the same principle in its privacy settings. When you create a new account, the default settings often expose your profile to more people than you might feel comfortable with. By keeping these privacy settings buried under layers of menus, the platform ensures that most users don't bother adjusting them, unknowingly exposing themselves to data collection practices that benefit the platform's advertising engine. The default effect exploits our natural tendency to stick with whatever is easiest. It's a small tweak that requires minimal effort on the company's part, but it can have huge implications for the user. But as sneaky as this tactic is, choice architecture is just the beginning. When companies really want to lock you in, they'll go beyond nudging and into territory where your choices feel non-existent. Imagine this. You're signing up for a new service only to find out that you can't proceed without giving up your phone number, allowing access to your contacts, or agreeing to invasive data collection. This is forced action, a tactic where companies strip away your ability to say no by making your consent mandatory. You're left with a choice that isn't really a choice at all. Either comply or walk away entirely. Instagram uses a similar tactic when asking users to connect to their contacts. The app prompts you to sync your phone's contact list to find friends more easily. However, this comes with the implicit cost of handing over sensitive data about your personal relationships, and opting out often means navigating through a maze of settings. This isn't just inconvenient, it's psychologically manipulative. By pushing you into a corner, forced action exploits cognitive dissonance, the discomfort you feel when your actions don't align with your intentions. You've already started the process, so your brain rationalizes giving in rather than abandoning it. This taps into our natural aversion to wasted effort, making us far more likely to comply, even when we feel uneasy. But forced action is still too direct for some companies. Sometimes they don't want you to feel pressured. They just want to quietly guide you into a decision without you even realizing what's happening. With misdirection, the focus shifts from forcing your hand to quietly guiding it. Misdirection works by drawing your attention to one thing while hiding something else in plain sight, leaving you feeling like you've made the right decision when, in reality, you've been led away from your best option. Ryanair is a prime example. As you book a flight, you're bombarded with bold buttons urging you to purchase extras like travel insurance or priority boarding. Meanwhile, the no thanks option is buried in much smaller, hard-to-see text. This tactic is rooted in inattentional blindness, the cognitive phenomenon that causes us to miss important details when we're focused elsewhere. But misdirection isn't limited to low-cost airlines. YouTube uses this tactic in its autoplay feature. After you finish watching a video, the next video begins playing automatically, often pulling you down a rabbit hole of content. The option to turn off autoplay is intentionally small and easy to miss, keeping you engaged on the platform for far longer than you might have intended. YouTube profits from your extended viewing time as more ads roll in, and you barely notice that you've been manipulated into staying. The same trick can be seen on news websites, where ads are disguised as legitimate content. As you scroll through an article, you might click on what appears to be a related story, only to find out that it's an advertisement designed to mimic the site's design. This sleight of hand is subtle, but its impact on your choices is significant. Misdirection pulls the strings on your attention, but when companies need a stronger push, they create urgency, often falsely, to make sure you act fast before you realize what's happening. Ever seen something that's been on sale for, well, forever? That's artificial urgency. Companies use false scarcity and ticking countdowns to trigger fear of missing out, or FOMO, a powerful psychological driver that clouds your judgment and forces you to act impulsively. Booking.com is notorious for this. When you're searching for hotels, messages like "only one room left" or "10 people are looking at this property right now" pop up constantly. These alerts aren't necessarily true, but they push you to make a decision out of fear that you'll miss the opportunity altogether. The same tactic is widespread among e-commerce sites like Amazon and eBay during sales events. You'll see warnings about items being almost gone or deals ending in a matter of minutes. These messages are designed to bypass your critical thinking, making you hit buy before you've had time to evaluate whether the purchase is really necessary. This sense of urgency isn't just limited to shopping. Online ticketing platforms often employ artificial urgency to rush users into buying tickets for events. You'll see messages like "only 3 tickets left at this price," or countdown clocks that seem to pressure you into purchasing immediately. In many cases, these alerts are exaggerated or outright false, but they're effective at pushing you to act quickly without pausing to consider other options. The problem with artificial urgency is that it doesn't just make you panic buy, it traps you into decisions that may be difficult or impossible to reverse. Enter the roach motel, where getting out is nearly impossible. Subscriptions, trials, and memberships use this pattern to lock you into a service that you might not even want anymore. Take Amazon Prime. Signing up for a free trial is seamless. Just a few clicks and you're in. But when it comes time to cancel, the process is anything but simple. You're bombarded with screens asking if you're sure, offering you deals to stay, and hiding the actual cancellation button deep within a labyrinth of menus. The idea is to exhaust you into giving up, keeping you locked in for longer than you intended. Gyms take this tactic to another level. Gym memberships are notoriously difficult to cancel, often requiring in-person visits or certified letters. You're put through hoops that make it feel easier to just keep paying, even if you haven't used the service in months. They're counting on the sunk cost fallacy, a cognitive bias that makes you reluctant to abandon something you've already invested time or money into, even when it's no longer benefiting you. But the roach motel tactic doesn't end with subscription services and gyms. Software companies are increasingly adopting it as well. For example, many apps offer free trials that automatically convert into paid subscriptions after a certain period. Canceling before the change is applied is intentionally made difficult, with cancellation options hidden in obscure settings or requiring unnecessary steps like contacting customer service. Even streaming services like Netflix and Hulu play into this. While signing up for a free trial is quick and easy, canceling your subscription often involves a maze of confirmations and hurdles designed to wear you down. You're met with persuasive language like, "Are you sure you want to miss out on the latest shows?" using emotional triggers to keep you locked in longer than you planned. By now, it's clear that these manipulative tactics do more than just guide your decisions. They trap you in a cycle that's difficult to break. But dark patterns aren't limited to just making you stay. They can also exploit guilt and social pressure, which leads us to confirm shaming, where companies try to guilt or shame you into agreeing to something by making the alternative option feel like a moral failing. It's designed to make you feel bad about saying no, even when no is the right choice for you. Consider the pop-ups you encounter while browsing online. When asked to sign up for a newsletter, the two choices might read, "Yes, keep me informed," and "No, I hate staying updated." The guilt-inducing language frames your choice as irrational or foolish, pressuring you into compliance. But it doesn't stop at newsletters. Charity websites are notorious for this as well. When asked to donate, you might be given the choice between, "Yes, I'll help starving children," and "No, I'm okay with letting children starve." This manipulative tactic preys on your empathy, making it difficult to say no without feeling as though you're morally wrong. Subscription services, like streaming platforms, also employ confirm shaming when you try to cancel. Messages like, "Are you sure you want to miss out on all these amazing shows?" make it seem like you're making a terrible mistake by leaving. The emotional pressure builds, trapping you in a decision you no longer want but feel guilty abandoning. Confirm shaming doesn't just exploit guilt, it turns it into a weapon, making you feel like your decision is a reflection of your values. Companies understand that guilt is a powerful motivator, and by using it, they can push you to act in ways that benefit them at the expense of your own well-being. Dark patterns are everywhere, silently manipulating your actions, emotions, and decisions. They prey on your instincts, taking advantage of cognitive biases to keep you locked in cycles of consumption and data sharing. From the moment you start engaging with a platform, these deceptive tactics work to shape your behavior without you even realizing it. But now that you're aware of their methods, you can start spotting them before they pull you in. Recognizing dark patterns is the first step in reclaiming your power over your digital choices.